listening. Yo, Tap In Radio.
With one tap, you're in. Only on Tap In Radio.
Well, hello on a Saturday afternoon.
Yes, hello. So we know you're all home.
Right.
You're at work.
Right.
So,
or like sleep.
exactly.
What time is it?
It's 2.
It's 2 o'clock. They still sleep.
Yeah, probably.
Or like,
but
or
we know
at
you
Walmart.
trolling the internet, so.
Yeah. Are you at Walmart? Or,
Yeah, drinking your coffee and trolling. Right, so.
Well, yes. Hey.
I know.
So it is, I was about to say it is I. Like, it is us.
See? I told you she's trying to Eddie Ruff it. She sat tripping. It's all right. Like a phoenix out the
We're
flame.
here. We're here on a Saturday because we missed you guys on Wednesday. I had a fast night for my job because I actually do work in the school and shit. So, yes, you're live with us, the teachers in the Teachers Lounge here on Tap In Radio. I am Jay and this is
Kee.
And so we're pretty much giving to you what we were supposed to give to you on Wednesday,
Right.
on Saturday. So thank you for our substitute day. We appreciate it. Yes, we appreciate it. Okay, so I didn't have anything catchy for today's episode, like the title of it.
Oh, it's more like the Darwin theory. Remember that?
Okay, yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so about that Darwin theory.
Okay.
Nobody cares what you think. Teachers. Teacher biases.
Yeah. So we're actually in episode 9.
Woohoo!
So like you guys have been rocking out with us for 9 episodes.
Right.
So thank you for listening to us talk about like
your children,
your kids, and
your bosses,
and everything else.
Yes.
So I just want to say thank you all to those who signed the petition for the school-based youth service programs because they were saved. Governor Murphy signed a budget, so they were able to find money so that the school-based youth service programs will not be cut from this school year. So thank you, everyone who helped to advocate to keep this important program in our schools throughout the state.
Yes, very, very important.
What?
I know, we're going to get to the legal stuff. We were just...
What?
Disclosure. Yeah. So we don't...
She was on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's something that actually happened. That was a fact. Yeah, that actually happened.
What?
No, what happened with Governor Murphy?
Oh, yeah. That was...
No, I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't get sued for that.
No. Oh, yeah. No, that was just from last week.
Yes, from last week.
Yes.
So, let's get to the legal stuff. We are sharing our thoughts and opinions and experiences based on our own school-based experiences. So, if you have any issues, comments, or concerns, please reach out to your Board of Education, PTA, superintendent, other parents in your district. Go to those board agenda meetings.
Yes.
Make your concerns known. Have them put on the books, okay? We do not represent the opinions of our school districts or any school districts.
Correct. So, once again, what that means is, don't come to us on that.
Really, because
FS.
it's not happening, and I ain't got no money.
Okay. Okay. Let it be known.
Money, okay?
We said it in the beginning. Okay.
Like, you could take my pen.
Not my guest pen, not my real pen.
Yes, not my real pen. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up.
That shit up. You know what's so crazy? So in the new place, right? Mm-hmm. They gave me all of these pens. They gave me a cup full of pens, and it's the big pens. And I was just like, you raggedy asses.
What's wrong with the big pen? I don't get it.
The big pens, like the.
I'm sorry, I'm not a teacher.
Do you mean the ones you have to?
Yeah.
And then flip the paper over.
Big, yes. Big, BIC. Exactly. So it's just like, oh, okay.
And then you gotta be like, that one don't work.
Yeah, let me
give them another one.
Let me see the 1,000 other ones. I told you, I am a paper maker.
And then you shake it like that's gonna do something.
Yes.
And then give it to them.
Anything.
Is that one gonna work?
Not gonna do anything.
You gotta do
Yeah, no. Why go through all of that for a pen though?
Yes.
Like it should stroke right on the first time. That's it.
Bic, you are selling pens with dry ink in them. I don't understand.
Word.
I don't understand that. So.
No. So I tried to give it away. Like someone came in and was like, "Oh, can I borrow a pen?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Okay." He's like, "You don't have to put it back. Like you can have it." And he was like, "No, we have plenty pens." And I'm just like,
plenty pens.
like I can't even give this shit away.
Plenty pens.
Word.
Wish
Can't
death
even-
on me.
Yo, you get in the studio with that.
I'm telling you, that's a parody.
She need to get in the studio. She need to get in the studio.
Just that
Yo.
with cup of pens, like.
Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then you never remember which one don't work, and you inadvertently
And
put
you
it back in.
Yeah. And you're like, damn, why do I still have this pen? And you still don't
Go
throw
throw
it
it
in
out.
garbage.
You don't throw it out.
So you just have it.
Yeah, it's just attached
The
to
pen,
you.
the pen graveyard, for real.
Yeah.
When you go through all of them, you did when the first time started.
Oh,
Yes.
now, like, boss up
Like
and
it
shit.
had to settle.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I just needed the warmth from your hand
Yes,
to
that's what
activate.
it was.
Get
Like,
out of here.
I wasn't familiar with my surroundings.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, this
pens.
is what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to write? I'm not supposed to be
For
here?
real. Like, oh, she
here.
about to throw us out for real, though. For real.
Yeah.
Let's start working.
Learn from the others. You will
Exactly.
get tossed the fuck out.
Hate big pens. That's like,
I'm trying to tell
they should just
you.
give them away for
They
free.
well, they do. Like anywhere you go, doctor's office, all
Yeah,
them
they
shits,
do.
those are the ones. You
Yep.
open a bank account, they'll give you
Yep.
like a whole box of them shits. They don't want them either.
They wrap it on it.
Yeah. They
The
don't.
idea, like, if she was tapping the radio.
Yeah, just give them away.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you need a pen?
Like, no, I don't. Why do y'all keep making these?
Probably like 2 cents a penny.
Ugh,
If
they're horrible.
that,
They're
it's
horrible.
like under a penny to make that. Like, I don't even know what kind of ink they use because you go over it one good time and it's all on your hand.
Yes.
Okay, like,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
So
I
Bic.
just,
we hate Bic.
yeah, do better.
Yes.
Do better. You've been warned.
Yeah. You've been around for a long time, so I
Yeah,
don't
you've
understand.
been warned. So now that we're done with our pen tangent,
Yes.
I love it.
Saturday just feels good.
It does.
Like,
We're not because we didn't work today.
Exactly.
Yes.
It feels good to be here.
We
like,
not on, yeah, we weren't drained and then coming in here, right?
you know, like sitting on the computer, my eyes
Yes.
are still fresh today.
Right.
Like I don't have like eye fatigue or anything.
You're right.
This is a whole new world on Saturdays.
It is. I don't know. We
like
done chopped
this.
into a new genre.
Okay. Okay. Energized and
I'm
shit.
telling you, so
Okay. I'm about to go do something after this.
I know.
Instead
right?
of going home, it's like
It'd be like
tomorrow. But anyway,
So, if you haven't seen it, you should Instagram, looking for Instagram. But there was a video, viral video that I think it was like Tuesday or Monday, I don't know. But there was
earlier this week.
a white teacher doing her Zoom class, and somewhere along the line, she said, "Bring George Floyd."
Yes.
George Floyd should not be honored. Which then, of course, one of the young lady's mother was in the room
Right.
while
It's
she
home.
said that.
It's
Of course, because
home-
it's virtual.
It's homeschool.
Right, and she happened to be home, and she scooted her daughter right on over and cursed that teacher the hell out.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Lot of things that we could pick apart with that one, but what I pulled out of it, which most important to me, is teacher biases.
Right.
You know, how often, or do you even stop to think about, teachers are the most influential people on your children.
Correct.
Most influential, right? And
And they spend the most time with your kids.
yes, they do.
They spend the most, like their whole day is with your kids.
Is with your children. And a lot of teachers have absolutely no problem stating how they feel about certain situations, which touched into a little not a confrontation, but a little argument I had with my coworkers. I said, you have to be objectional, and you have to present the facts.
Right.
You have to present the facts on both sides. And then you stop there. I let the kids figure out, after I've given them all the facts, no matter what side it is, I present all the facts, and then I let them decide how they feel about it. Which is why I said, that whole Darwin thing, because Clearly, he was all science.
Right.
you know,
Right.
clearly he was all science, which is his absolute right. But I do feel that it was good that he taught it. You know, absolutely. You should be able to learn both sides of it and then let the kids decide. But at no point should you say, oh, that's bullshit. God created everything.
Right.
You don't say that.
Right.
You know, you don't say that in front
Right.
of the students.
Right.
You just don't. You keep your biases to yourself. If you don't feel like somebody who was murdered or unrightfully convicted or victimized should be honored, you keep it to yourself.
Correct.
You keep it to yourself.
Or, like, what we discussed was remaining neutral
Yes.
in a situation. Like you said, letting the teacher turn it into a teachable moment. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, well, I may not like apple juice, but I'm not going to be like, apple juice should be, like, banned
Right.
because obviously apples to oranges. Not something as major as that. And we've had conversations with students on real life issues because I feel like sometimes as adults we forget that students are still observant.
Yes.
They're still, you know, they still see what's happening in
Right.
the world. So like their perspective on things shouldn't be shunned out, nor should it be like overcast
Right.
by what you see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought that as a teacher, she was wrong. You know, not because she felt that way. I don't care what you feel.
Right.
You know, I don't govern how you feel about anything. I do feel as though sharing those type of opinions with students is inappropriate. Period. Flat out, it's just inappropriate. You open yourself up to, well, what happened to her, getting cussed out.
I really would like to know the follow up
Yeah.
to what happened with that. Like, what was the end?
Right.
Because we only saw a snippet because
Right.
obviously a student was recording it from their cell phone and they uploaded it, but we don't know what school district this
Right.
was, like where this was in America, to find out like was there repercussions
Right.
for this teacher, because her affect was just like, so if you would let me finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the daughter was visibly like shaken up
Yeah.
about it. She was really upset. And to me, that's just like the teacher had no sense of awareness.
At all of her students.
Right.
Of her students.
Right. And where we are in these times.
Right.
It's just like she just was not aware to the impact of her words. Like you said, like we have a lot of influence on the lives to which we touch, right?
And to say that somebody, regardless of their past, should not be honored, you know, that man had a family.
Correct.
So you're basically saying your father, husband, brother, uncle, they shouldn't be honored.
Right.
Anybody who dies, we honor them.
Right,
I mean, that's
right.
just something that people do, but just to say that,
And
not wise.
And I think you said this when we were talking. This is like, you don't know who this person's relation
Absolutely.
is to that, or you don't know what kind of triggering
Right.
effect it has for that person.
Especially if they've had that happen to a family member.
Exactly.
Right? Or
Exactly.
that could have been her distant cousin or something.
never
have
know.
No idea.
You never know.
No idea. So
Never ever know.
that's why it's very important to stay. I was like, you gotta be neutral.
Yeah.
Or play devil's advocate, which I do. I'll play both sides. I'll present them with this, and then I'll say, but wait. And
There's
then
more.
Exactly. Then I'll present them with the other. And it kind of, and you know, the kids, well, you what do you think? I don't answer it. What do
Yeah.
you think? I
Yeah.
already know what I think.
Right.
I want to hear what you think. And that's
Right.
how you get your kids to talk.
And that in itself is a teachable moment.
Right.
Because you bring two perspectives into the room rather than having one, a bias, control the narrative, control what they have access to, as you mentioned, the facts and things of that nature.
Right.
It's important.
Absolutely. I was talking to the kids just recently about, you know, I'm a technology teacher, algorithm biases, all right? Algorithms that are created by programmers, obviously, but the data that goes into these algorithms is biased based on who programs it. You know, let's think about how insurance is calculated. You know,
Where you live, your age,
your race.
yes,
Okay. How minorities get more time for the same crime in jail. A recent algorithm, it stated that minorities were more likely to relapse after getting out, which is absolutely not true. It was not true at all. It was
the narrative.
absolutely not true.
That's the narrative,
Right, and that's a bias based on whoever put that particular information in the program or the system and all that other stuff. So biases are everywhere, and they should not be in our classroom.
They should not.
They should not be in our classroom. Or even when you use Google, when you Google something, like you Google something and you look up the images. Like if you Google doctor, you probably see old white men. It's changed a little bit since then, but I remember when you did Google stuff like that, or you Google nurse, you would see just women. And we know there are male nurses.
Correct.
We know there are transgender nurses.
Correct.
You know?
Absolutely.
So the Google algorithm is biased. It's biased. If you Google stuff, you should see. The most sexiest athletes, you'll probably see women that come up first. Even though there are sexy male athletes. So the biases are everywhere. They're everywhere. And we did a whole lesson on it, and I'm like, the more you research into it, the more interesting.
It's deep. It's deep.
It is.
It gets
rooted deep.
real deep, like real deep. And I'm glad you said that because, like, this, I want to bring up. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Project Implicit. So, Project Implicit was discovered by psychologists at Harvard, University of Virginia, University of Washington. I can't talk today. And it's basically, it is a test, and you can take it online, like anybody can take it online to discover what implicit biases we all have as individuals. And it's a very interesting dynamic because, like, you think in the article, it's like you think as educators that these things wouldn't exist, but because, like, we're regular people, but we just have a infinity for education and helping students, that biases wouldn't be present, but they really are. Like, they really are present. So what is an implicit bias? So defined by the Ohio State University Kirwan Institute for the Study of Race and Ethnicity. Make sure I put that in there.
Absolutely, because we don't want to we're not getting sued.
No, we're not. So I want to
no
cite
plagiarism.
my resources.
No plagiarism.
No plagiarism.
We don't plagiarize.
We do not do that
at
over
all.
here.
Nope.
Okay?
Nope.
So.
Unless I thought of it.
So, implicit bias refers to the attitudes or stereotypes that affect our understanding, actions, and decisions in an unconscious manner. So, like you were saying, the people who program these algorithms, they come to the table with their biases already, like, in the chamber, right? So they don't know that they have a bias against something because it's way
deeply embedded. That makes sense,
right?
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, so these biases, which encompass both favorable and unfavorable assessments, are activated involuntary and without an individual's awareness or internal control. So it's like literally like a knee-jerk reaction. Like, oh, I didn't know that I had a bias against, I don't know, what's something random. People who use big pens, since we're talking about big pens. Like, if I see, because...
If you have a $20 pen, I don't like you.
Yeah, no, like, if you have a big pen, I'm going to judge you.
Yes.
Like, that's, like...
Like, you went to the store and bought those?
On purpose.
Oh. And you telling me there were other pens next to it?
Right.
Okay.
So an explicit bias would be one that's like outward. So it's like I consciously know that I am biased against people who write in blue. Like, I can't stand blue. So, like, how dare you write in blue? Okay. But, like, if I had an implicit bias, like, I'm not even aware that I don't like this because maybe my environment to which I grew up or, like, the messages that I'm receiving have tapped into my core during my formation stage. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these are the things that people come to the table with.
That's
so
interesting.
it really is. Like, it really is. And, like, this study and the test I didn't take it yet, but I am going to take it because I want to see, you know, and I encourage you guys out there just to give it a shot to see where your biases lie. So this kind of talks about where we have our blind spots. So an implicit bias is more so like our blind spot. Like we're not aware that we don't like these things, or they kind of rub us the wrong way because of how we've been raised or our experiences and stereotypes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's interesting.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yes, absolutely. It's like deep rooted into your subconscious.
It really is. It really is. So, and like as it relates to the teacher, her implicit bias or explicit bias, we don't know who they are. We don't know where they lie. But her explicit bias is in saying like his life wasn't worth celebrating. Saying like, okay, you know how it's like, oh well, did he do a crime? Then that's why this person is justifying the end result.
Absolutely.
So like that's a bias in itself, rather than looking at this person was taken unjustly from the world.
Yeah, and sometimes people do that. Like if you were a bully when you were 10, and now you're older, you don't do that anymore, and somebody bullies you or harasses you or does something horrible to you, and somebody says, well, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
What?
Gaslighting.
I'm like, wait, I was a child then, and I haven't done that since. And like, it doesn't justify any of that now.
Correct.
So,
correct.
Yeah, no, I definitely see, but it definitely, and one of my coworkers got a little tiffy, like, well, so we can't have an opinion anymore? And I'm like,
oh, you can have an opinion.
You can have as many opinions as you want. In fact, I have a few opinions right now. But
right.
But what I'm saying is, you need to be very conscious of what you say in front of the students.
Correct.
Period. And they are not your friends.
No, not only that, it's like
they're not your equals, and you shouldn't be talking to them like you would if you were sitting with people your age drinking wine.
Right.
They're not. They're kids.
Right.
They hang on every word you say, and then they got to weigh it against what they're hearing in their household. It's a big impact. It is a big.
And that's where it stems from too. It's students come to the table with a lot of baggages. We talk about this often. We come to the table with a lot of baggage that we have to like sit down before we get into the classroom or the office or wherever, and it's a mishmash of cultures, a mishmash of feelings, a mishmash of understanding and ideals. It's just a lot of things that happen. So like it's interesting to say the very least, but the awareness needs to be put there. So like in today's episode, obviously we're talking about teacher bias and education, and like how we as students have come against biases in our lives, and how we come to the table obviously as like women of color, however you identify. I identify as a black woman. So it's just like we come to the table with our experiences and the challenges that we've faced, even though it's not something that we'll say like, hey, I think you're going to be prejudiced against me today. Like, I think that's going to happen. We already come in geared in and ready for it because it's been happening to us. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Okay. My tangent.
No, but it's true. It's everywhere. Like, I even had the students Google the term thugs.
Okay.
And I'm sure you know what popped up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because only black or minorities are thugs.
Right. No, not at all.
That term is only explicit to...
No.
If you Google the term... Bam, just walked in. If you Google the term thug and you look at the images, only black and brown showed up.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Now, if you Google the term trailer park trash... What do you think showed up? And that's a bias too. I don't agree with it either.
A lot of
because
things are biased because
minorities live in trailer parks just like there are whites who are thugs too. But when you Google it, and this is one of these algorithmic biases, that's what comes up. So whoever programmed it had a data set that, the term thug, black, Hispanic,
but
Crips,
the crazy part about
Bloods.
it, not even that, because speaking of that, I learned from being in Jersey City, Duncan projects, the actual project don't exist no more, but there's like low houses now.
Okay.
my father and them and my grandfather and them told me, they was like, originally the projects was made for middle class white people. Like overall in general, and it's crazy. Another elder person told me that they was like, "You want to know what the project was really for? It wasn't for us. It was for middle class white people." And it's like, I always like, what? Like, you tell a white about a project, they be like, "Oh no, that's the hood, the ghetto."
Right.
But they all was there first, and allegedly, as what we going through now, they say our government pushed us in there.
Yeah, redlining. Like redlining
So
and housing.
eventually it turned into, because there are, like you said, some white people who are in the projects and
course.
this and this, that.
Of course, and since this gentrification, since this housing collapse in Manhattan, they are moving to a hood near you.
Sure. No.
Yo, Sean, I ain't gonna
I
lie.
can't pay $2,300. I'm going
seen-
to Newark,
You know
Jersey
it's
City.
real when
Yes.
you
I
see
seen a
those
lot of
white
New
dogs.
Yorkers. I seen a lot of New Yorkers starting to move. Well, New York has always been moving to Jersey because taxes.
But they're
are so
doing it a
cheaper.
lot more now.
No,
They said
now,
12,000 New Yorkers did not renew their rent.
but I'm gonna tell you what.
Drop in the ocean.
I'm gonna tell you about that.
That's a lot.
And how do you ladies
And it's
feel?
still rising.
How do you ladies feel about this? A lot of these cases was already going on before COVID because the units in the buildings are coming together, taking the landlord to court, and then all of a sudden, COVID hit. Now the landlord is like, "Oh, how am I supposed to do this? Yeah, kick him out." To me, that's saving because you was already going to court for other things. That's why your tenant wasn't paying you rent already.
Yeah, but now they're like, wait, I can catch a train from Jersey
Yeah.
and only pay $800 rent? Because I seen one walking a poodle on South Orange Avenue, and I'm not talking about the part you think I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, they was in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like
Yeah, they're coming.
because-
They're here.
yeah, they
coming.
are.
They're bringing
They're
it back.
here.
They're bringing it back.
Because remember, living next to the train tracks for a long time was like,
But now they're building,
everything is next to the train tracks.
yes, all these new condos, everything.
It's accessibility. Like, okay, accessibility
Yeah, so they're coming back. They're coming
to hood near you.
to a hood near you. Yeah. So don't be surprised over there if you live in don't be surprised if a Starbucks pop up.
Well, it doesn't start with Starbucks. It starts with the gyms.
Ah, okay.
It starts with the gyms. So the LA Fitnesses.
Well, gyms haven't been doing so well.
Well, that's now,
Yeah.
but like before COVID.
Well, right. So that's why I said
knew.
Starbucks is easier because you just drop.
Nope, like you knew it was coming because the sidewalks, like the literal sidewalks, are starting to be improved.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh
so, like,
yeah. I've been seeing flowers.
Yes. So once these sidewalks start to be improved,
You haven't noticed that?
that's how you know it's coming. It's coming because them sidewalks been fucked up for years.
And
but
you'll notice buildings that have been old and dilapidated for years all of a start getting bulldozed.
Yeah, making room for apartments right next to the train station.
Yeah.
Right next to the train station. I'm telling you, when the gyms come into town, you ain't never seen a gym in your town for like how long? And then all of a sudden you have a Blink Fitness.
Oh, while I was coming over here took Route 1 today, they're putting, and not that you shouldn't have it, but right on in Linden, I noticed now they already put a super Walmart over there.
Oh.
And right next to it, it said Chick-fil-A coming soon.
Oh, that's how you know. That's how you know.
Chick-fil-A coming soon.
Chick-fil-A.
I was like, ooh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. The one on
Oh, yeah,
Route
it is.
22
Yeah,
got,
I'm glad they're
got
fixing it up,
competition
but,
now. The food poisoning one.
I got 4 near me, so. You got, that's right, you did say you got.
I told you.
The one before that is in Woodbridge.
There's 4
On
in
Route
that area.
22?
There's 2 in the mall, there's 1 in Menlo, there's 1 in Woodbridge, there's 1 on Route 1 near the ShopRite, and there's 1 on the Turnpike exit.
But the
Chick-fil-A.
closest one to me
is 22.
is 22.
Oh.
And okay, so for you guys who don't know, I got food poisoning from Chick-fil-A. And a lot of people don't believe me because they're like, Chick-fil-A would never do that to anyone. Yes, yes, they would. And it happened to me. Like, I got food poisoning, and it's just like, yo,
See, that's a bias.
Like,
no.
No, yeah, like Chick-fil-A.
You didn't
like,
eat at
it's you.
Chick-fil-A. You ate at
It's
Popeyes.
It's
You
not,
lying.
It's not them. It's you.
you.
No, it was them.
like,
They poisoned
Please
me.
believe me.
I've been poisoned more than enough times to know. Like, okay, like I get food poisoning a lot.
And she's told me this story before, so I
Yeah,
can't believe that.
and like nobody believed me. That was the crazy part. Like nobody believed me. It's like, yo, I got food poisoning. From where? What happened? From Chick-fil-A.
Like, what did you do?
Yeah,
What did you eat before Chick-fil-A?
Exactly. And people ask me that question too. Like, so was that the only thing you ate that day? It's like, what? Like, I have to like.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they not paying you.
Exactly.
Because they give you a few extra sauces. That don't make you special. But yeah, so I'm, like good for them. I hope they change their grease because it'll take you out.
And it's peanut grease, so
Either way, it still need to be changed when it's time to change it. Because I'm telling you, no shade to the Chick-fil-A lovers of the world, but they are.
They're like the beehive.
I used to be one. I used to be one until I didn't want to believe the shit, and it was happening to me. I didn't want to believe it.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's a real reality.
But
out
it is
here.
a bias. Like, nah, she had some. She had some
Yeah.
White Castles before she.
I don't have to lie about
That's
that.
the sad part.
True.
Somebody did probably try to make you like as a liar.
Yeah, like no, I can tell you right now, both of my best friends who love Chick-fil-A were like,
Ride or die, Chick-fil-A.
yeah, they were like, that didn't happen to you from Chick-fil-A. Yes, no, it was you. Yes, my body could not handle the poison that was happening to me, so it was me. But yeah, all right.
I got food poisoning from Popeye's chicken once upon a time.
Oh, you know what?
I sure did.
KFC.
Not believe it.
KFC.
And I didn't eat it for years. I actually just started visiting Popeyes occasionally now.
It takes a minute.
It does.
You get like scarred.
and then
for
you
life.
and then you blame all the other Popeyes and all the other ones like
And
they did it
actually
too.
do it, yeah.
I'm like, well, I got poisoned at a Popeyes, but
Case
was
in
it this
point.
one? No,
But
you affiliated.
okay.
Okay, so cousins, distant cousins at the
Hello.
very least, twins.
Hello, that's your sister, your stepsister. Yeah.
I would have a franchise. They would like, no, that one.
Yeah.
Why?
Like she's lying.
Yeah,
no.
she lying.
Because you
She
see people
lying.
going on Google and put the what is that? The review, the Google
yeah.
review. I didn't do that.
And then like you put a review. I got food poisoning at this barbecue place in Fords.
At a barbecue place?
It was what do you call it? This Portuguese barbecue.
Oh, what?
Me and my husband got sick. We got sick. So I wrote a post, and this was our third time trying. The first time I had yeah.
You got food poisoning from there too? Oh, so everybody know what the food
The
poisoning
first
spot at.
time, we didn't like it. I was just like, well, because we was Burnett barbecue, and we were still acclimated to the barbecues up north.
Burnett
And then
barbecue's good.
we didn't like it. We was like, all right, whatever. Maybe it was just a bad day.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks later, we tried it a second time. My stomach got upset,
Okay.
and I was like, ugh. I don't know. Maybe it was too greasy.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we didn't go back there for like a year. So we go back there a year.
Later.
Straight up, just heaving and hiving. We were so sick. Wrote a review. I was totally honest. So I wrote this review, right? And I was just like, I don't know what happened. We ate
Your
there.
food
We
tried
didn't.
to
Yeah,
kill me.
we had a bad reaction to the food. It just didn't work out for us. But
Right.
know. I mean, as soon as I hit send, it was like 2 minutes later, the owner was all over us. Like, I don't believe this is a real post, and I'm gonna report you to Google. And I was like, I'm gonna write the same review on Yelp. I'm gonna go write the same review on Facebook. I was like, I don't care who you report. You can't stop the press.
Right. Right.
I'm like,
Try me.
yeah. I was like, you think I got time to come up here and say you tried to kill me for
Right.
fun? For fun? But for fun, though, I would have just drove over there and said, "Hey,
Yo. That's ridiculous.
I was like, next time, I was like, not that there's going to be a next time, but I was like, if there was a next time we get sick, we're just going to come right back here.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Shit on your floors.
I don't believe this post. Why? Why is it hard for you to believe
that someone got sick?
Yes.
That's a bias. Once again, another bias.
Not my food. Right.
It's so pure.
Right.
That we could never do harm.
Exactly.
Lies.
I was like, you didn't kill the pork. You
Lies.
didn't kill it. It could have just been that meat. And it wasn't just somebody else had said it too. Like, we got sick off the food, but da-da-da. They didn't get violently sick like we did, but they was just like, we had a stomach ache after we ate it. I'm like, it happens. It does happen at restaurants. People get sick, and it is what it is. But I believe this is a fake post. And
fake news.
Like, bro, I'll walk down there right now. You home? You home? I don't know if you live there. I just assume you live in the area.
You at the office today, right? You at the office, right?
Right now?
Right now?
I come right now. Like, who
I
you
see
think you talking to?
Get out of here.
Hey, this is fake. Come see me then.
Like, that food poisoning was real.
For real. I'm still mad about it. That was years
I would be too.
I'm still
Because
angry.
they tried to make you out to be a liar.
Right.
No.
Like, and it's so bizarre because, like, who would go out their way for a small Portuguese restaurant in a small town? Some people don't even know where Ford's is. When people say Ford's, they're like, oh, that sounds far. But you're like, it's in Woodbridge. Oh, okay.
It's like, boop, right there.
Yeah, like, so I went out my way to find this very small Portuguese restaurant, which is literally, like, on the corner.
On the corner next to the barbershop.
Yes, across from the post office.
Oh, wow.
And you wouldn't know that.
On the next corner is the Chinese
Yes. And you wouldn't know that unless you're in the area.
Town. Yeah.
I was like, so this is the one I'm going to troll today.
Google Maps. No.
And write a detailed summary of how I got sick.
Right. You know what? I've been working on like short stories. Let me just give this a go on Google review.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
God, people kill me.
They do. That was dumb.
It was.
That
I was like,
dumb.
and then just because he said that, I'm like, oh, if you think I don't have enough time to post this same review all over the internet, you are tripping. You're tripping.
Copy and paste, my guy.
You are tripping. Report whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, what Google gonna say?
Yeah.
Are they gonna call me?
Right.
What will they do? Like, what they gonna like suspend your Google privileges? Like, what happens with that? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Exactly.
I've been using Google for years.
Yeah.
For years. I was the first one. I've had this Google account for years.
Okay.
I can see if it was like a Google account that was made 2 days ago prior to it. That's
Yeah.
fine. But like, no, bruh. Google know me.
Send me an email.
I was like, I use them in the classroom. I use them personally, whatever. So, biases. See what I'm talking about? Do you see how the way you feel about something will make you break up your friendship? Like, nah, you ain't get poisoned. Nobody believe that.
Please, please.
Don't nobody believe that.
No.
Why don't you believe me? But it happens in the classroom. So it is very important when you ask your kids, what did you talk about today? You don't ask them what they learned. You ask them, what did you talk about today? Mm-hmm. You know, you might want to know what was said in class.
Correct.
I'm not trying to victimize teachers, but at the same time, you got to be professional.
Exactly.
You got to be professional.
Exactly.
If you have kids in school, you definitely don't want the teachers pushing biases on it. I remember when one of my students asked me, was I pro-choice or pro-life? I said, sit down and mind your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What would make you think it's okay to ask me that?
First of all,
like,
that's a beeline.
Like,
that is a B.
But that just goes to show me
office. Like,
you are extremely comfortable with asking grown adults questions like that.
Hey now.
Because your parents probably ask questions like that. Stay in your lane. Don't you ask me to sit your ass down. Don't ask me anything like that.
Speaking of ask, right? So I had a student ask me my perspective on her sexuality. So,
like whether you thought she was gay or not?
She was just like, "Do you think I'm gay?" And I'm like,
"Ooh,
like what?" And she's
gay?
Like, yeah, she was like legit, gay? Like, and we had a good relationship. We had a good relationship, so she was cool. And, like, I knew this was something that she struggled with. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I didn't answer the question.
Right.
Like, spoiler alert, I did not answer.
I wouldn't have. I would have been like,
Matrix, like a must. Like, no. So,
I left my car running.
No. I was just
Why-
like, what?
Oh,
like,
no.
what?
I'm not answering
And
that.
she's like, like, do you think I'm gay? And I'm just like, why would you ask me that question? And like, where is this coming from?
Right.
So it's one of those things where, okay, like, let's explore the reasoning behind this question.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not going to
At all.
to the no. I'm not about what?
At
But she
all.
asked me like multiple times. So it's just like, from our last conversation, like, are you still having these, like, are you having these feelings? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about this question? What do you think your own answer is? And like, it was just like, I'm not like, hey.
For real. I don't have to answer that without a lawyer present.
I'm not answering it, period.
I don't have to answer
I'm not answering it, period. But it's just the kind of things that our students come to the table with.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I am glad that she felt comfortable to have this like really life altering kind of I'm in between conversation. But like the way that I guess she thought I was going to answer it, hell no, I wasn't about to answer it like, no, nay, nan.
And don't be asking your teachers questions like that.
No.
Don't ask me that. Don't ask me what my political views are.
You can ask.
But I'm not going to.
Here's the thing. You can ask, but you're not going to get the answer that you thought you were going to get. And like that's where I'm at where I am with that. So it's just like, okay, well, you can ask these kinds of questions, but once again, being a neutral party and once again having that awareness to like really think before you speak, honestly, like as it relates to students, because they'll be like, oh, well, Miss Gore said, and it's like, okay, like no.
No,
So,
well, hey, don't ask me. You can ask her.
yeah, you can
Don't
ask.
ask me my political affiliation.
You
Don't
can-
ask me if I'm pro-choice, pro-life.
You can ask.
Don't ask me.
but
Don't
you're not-
ask
can
me, because you're just going to get the
guarantee
same answer. Sit
You're
down.
not going to get the answer that
Sit
you
down.
think you are going to get. And
Sit
it's just like, oh, well,
down.
let's talk about you. We don't need to talk about me. Let's talk about you. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Because you brought it up. Obviously, you must be feeling a way about it.
Right.
And then that goes into another. It segues into somewhere else. So it's just like,
Right. And I'm like, and think about it. Imagine if we do give our opinions. And like I said, some teachers do. Imagine how much that weighs on your kid.
yeah,
It
it's
weighs.
it's crazy because it's like a bounds, and you don't want to overstep that bounds. And it's just like, because I guess some parents don't want their students, their kids, to have these kinds of conversations without their consent.
Right.
100% understandable.
Absolutely.
So, like, I'm not going to sit up here and, like, have these, like, if it makes me uncomfortable,
Right.
and, like, as a counselor, it's okay to be uncomfortable and acknowledge, like, hey, listen, I'm not really comfortable talking to you about
Right.
that, like, because, like, this seems like something you should have a conversation with your parent, or, like, if you want to have your mom call me and we can discuss it and on how to talk about it as a group, I will do that. But I'm not gonna have that conversation.
I'm not having that conversation.
No. No, not at all. No.
Oh, wait, and then go next door. Do you know what this girl had the nerve to ask me? And it's crazy because I'm like,
no, I didn't no one knew about our conversation. Like, it was just very,
right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do give my biases, but it's usually on nonsense stuff. I be like, you can eat Wendy's chicken nuggets if you want to, but you're only eating about 20% chicken. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
All right. I don't care. All right. I don't think that's going to shatter.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to end up at the board office. That's pretty much, that's the whole
That's
the
not going to
whole
shatter your child.
scope of
Right.
our conversation.
Right.
And it's like, right there, like, don't say something that you end up at the board
Right.
for. So,
Right. Like,
quiet.
can you see the superintendent? Did you tell the kids
Hey,
that?
I am not getting that rice notice email. Like, no.
Did you tell the kids that Wendy's chicken nuggets are only
No.
20% chicken? Oh, well, that's just inappropriate. Like,
Hey.
yeah, that's not going to happen.
Hey,
But
nope. I've seen people go down
for
for less.
real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Well, actually, it's only 30% chicken.
I've seen people go down for less,
Excuse me.
and I'm not trying to be a part of that. So, like, no, thank you. Like, I'm like thinking about it now. Like,
Oh yeah, well I mean obviously serious conversations, but little stuff like that, I'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
like,
right.
okay.
I tell my kids all the time, all right, you gonna start clucking soon. But
you know what?
I do mess with them when it comes to stuff like that. But like we said, serious
Serious
topics, I don't give my
Yeah.
opinion at all.
No,
I don't give my
like
opinion.
I am biased against people who eat fast food. Like I can say that. I'll eat Popeyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't eat McDonald's or like Burger King or any
Oh,
of those
Murder
foods.
King?
Yeah, like I don't. Or you know,
McMurder.
my ultimate bias, and like when I see people eating it, I'm like, I am judging you so hard.
What? White Castles?
Yes. Yes. Like, it's just
White
like
Castles.
You know, they was the first fast food restaurant that give actually 401k benefits. That's why a lot of people. You ever notice you ever go to White Castle, you see the same people that been working.
no, because I've never been. Like the last time I went to White Castle, I was exactly 5 years old with my Uncle Tommy, and that was the first and last time because I pooped my little heart out at 5 years old. So no, I don't eat it.
I don't have a problem with White Castles.
It makes you
I
shit
very
every time.
rarely. I'm like it's like a once or
it
twice a
make
year thing. No, because I don't eat. I might get two, and I actually like the fish sandwiches better than I like the little sliders. But I like the onion rings, but I don't really go there anymore. They don't taste the same. It doesn't taste the same. But I don't judge you.
I do.
Like if you eat there, you eat at Checkers or places like that. I don't judge you.
I do.
But
Like,
she like that. She does.
She's like, I do.
Yeah,
That-
she like
that
right
is-
here.
That
I
is
judge
my
you.
explicit.
I mean, I'm gonna make fun of certain
Bias,
things that you
like-
eat. Like,
How could you do this to yourself?
listen to her. Listen at you.
know, like, hey,
But yeah, like that's not gonna shatter your kid's life.
no. I mean, we laugh about it,
Yeah.
and like I make jokes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, ooh, please don't come inside. Like, can I throw this away in garbage?
No,
you may not.
that has to be taken outside immediately.
Damn, they can't even throw it in.
No.
It lingers.
No, first-
It does linger.
Okay, so when you have a small office, like for me, I don't throw food away in my office garbage. Not even my food. I throw it away in a different garbage can because I don't like the way it smells.
It will
So
linger.
like, but no,
Yeah.
like can I throw this away in the
And
garbage?
sometimes the garbage that's closest to your desk, sometimes the maintenance janitors forget it. So you got to put it to the one that's close to the door.
We came in class one morning. It was like, what the fuck is that smell? Mind you, we was not even thinking about the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, the teacher was like, fucking janitor.
Right.
Yeah, so
She
See?
said in front of us, we all class like,
Right.
she like,
See?
oh yeah, I want to look shocked when I curse.
right, exactly. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, right.
But see, like they matter too. Custodians
Yes.
custodians are a important part of the
Absolutely.
school dynamic
Oh, my
because
God.
when the garbage does not get taken out or like the bathroom still got that random log just floating in the toilet. Yes, and y'all have seen it. I mean, we can talk
Women's
about it.
bathrooms are disgusting.
They are.
I hate it. I hate it. And you know what's so bad? I have to clean up. They
It's
are.
worse. It's
They
way
are.
worse.
They
Like,
are.
It's
They
way.
are. They are
It's
disgusting.
a lot of things that go down in the women's bathroom, and it makes you think like,
What does your house look like?
What happened here? Like, what?
Who happened here?
Who did this? Like, it's a lot.
I was like, and then there's always the PP bandit, the person who you hear the toilet flush, and then they just come straight out.
They don't wash their hands.
And you like,
this heifer ain't wash her hands.
you go in, you look at the sink, you like,
They be like, hey girl, bitch.
Like, this heifer did not wash her hands. And it's always like random person that be blowing up the bathroom at work. Now, we have a teacher's bathroom and like the student's bathroom, like like a standard school. And it's just like, I don't know who it is, if it's a female or a male. I don't know who they are. It's like the poo-poo bandit. So it's just like, yo.
I know who the PP bandit was, and she was a science teacher.
Oh, that one? No, not at this place. at your place?
At our old place and one of my other old places. One of them was a technology teacher, and one of them was a science teacher.
Wow.
And every time, and it seems like we synced up because whenever I went to the bathroom, that's when she was in the bathroom.
Are you talking about your favorite?
No.
Oh, because
No.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
a whole different one.
Oh, okay.
A whole different one. And she would come out, and I'd be like, of course I had a bias. Yes, I have a bias if you went to the bathroom and you didn't wash your hands. So, of course, yes, I looked at her funny.
Of course.
I did. I don't care.
Of course.
I don't care. You're dealing with children. This
Right.
was, this was before the pandemic, so you
Right.
know she was touching stuff.
Right. So now that would turn into that bias, same thing. If it were to be generalized, like, oh, this kind of person, they all don't wash their hands, then that would be
Right.
something like, okay, like,
Right. But that, I was just like,
yeah, no. I just like, yo.
and like you said, the poop bandit who for some reason is just too lazy to lift their leg up and flush the toilet.
Poop bandit, and it's like,
Don't know
or
what that's
spray,
about.
or bring poopery to the job. Like, if you about to like
Do what you gotta do.
go ahead and blow it up. That's your business. But like now, your business has lingered all the way down to my office, and I can smell it. So like, please, like, do a courtesy flush and keep it moving. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to boop boop courtesy flush, get that out, and then like continue with your business.
And then go on
flush
with your life.
again, wash
on
your
with your life,
hands,
yep.
get on out.
And that's it. Don't stop and look around and make eye contact with people. Just keep it
Well,
moving.
we're not gonna know who you are because they're really like they move like a thief in the night.
But not the ones that I run into. I'm like, I told you about the one who went out her way. Okay, so we were both it was 3 stalls in the bathroom. She was in one, and I knew it was her because at the time I was pregnant. Okay, so that, pregnancy, whatever. I could see her feet.
Right. You know they shoes.
I know her shoes. And I was just like, damn, she's in here. And then I was like, damn, she's in here. Now she has to wash her hands because I'm in here. Because whenever I would catch her, I would be coming in and she would be coming out. But I would still catch her. Like, you could see if the door to the stall is still closing and you on your way out the door.
You didn't even make a stop.
You
at
didn't
the sink.
stop at all. So I'm like, yo, she didn't wash her hands.
Yeah.
So this particular time I was in there with her. And I come and I waited. I ain't have a class. So I was going to wait this bitch out. And I had the big handicap stall. I was like, oh, I'm in
Nothing
here.
but
I
time.
had my phone. I had bars. I'm like,
Nothing
I'm not
but time.
leaving till she opens that door.
Okay,
Right? So
okay.
she flushes the toilet. I flush the toilet. Right?
Like, okay, so we're coming out at the same time. Okay.
And then I'm like, her door didn't open. And I'm like I said, I'm in the handicap stall. I could do yoga up in here.
Let me just like mix sounds.
Exactly. So then finally, I hear the door, shh, and I was like, shh. I was like, she's washing her hands today, right? Oh, she comes out, I open out, she smile at me. I'm like, okay, so I'm in here now. Yeah.
To the sink.
I turn the sink on. No, my ritual is I would get the paper towels out first,
yes,
right?
Same.
Turn the sink on. I'm washing, and we had hot water at this school, so I'm like, yes, get it in there. So she walks over to the one next to me. I don't know why she had to get to the one. It was 3. I don't know why she had to come to the one next to me.
Okay.
Social distancing. She could have did.
Yeah, okay. She could have went to number 1.
She could have.
But she came to number 2.
And she hits the water, and she's talking to me about something, and I was like, and she's fixing her hair. I'm washing. I done hit the soap a second time.
It's always that second one. It feels good, right? Oh.
I done did, okay, I'm on my second one, I'm like, okay, my hand's starting to prune now. She hits the water again. I'm like.
But was she, so she was just like.
Yeah. I don't know what she was doing to her hair. So I'm like, okay, I grabbed the paper towel. I dry my hand off. By this time, another teacher done came in. I dry my hand off. She's like, oh, hey. And she's like, oh, hey, how you doing? And then she walks out. And I was just like, the time she spent pretending.
She plays you.
To wash her hands. Like, I didn't notice your hands didn't go in the water.
So she was just like, yeah, water sound.
Yeah. Like smoke bomb. And I was like, and walks out and then goes to her classroom, and I was just like,
Yep, those are the same people that don't wash chicken.
now mind you, her eyes were always bloodshot red. Disgusting. I went to the nurse. I went and told. I was just like, look, she's a computer teacher. She in there touching the keyboards and all this other stuff. I was like, look, you should have a conversation with the staff about washing their hands before they go back to the classroom. She said, who? Miss such and such and such? I was like,
Oh, so you know.
you're a part of this.
So you know.
You're a part of this.
You know.
She was just like, I knew who you was talking about. Her eyes is always bloodshot red. And she was like, you want to know something? You want to know something? She's a diabetic. I was like,
Whoa, first of all, she should be telling her business.
no, but I was like, insulin on your finger type diabetic? She was like, yeah. And she not washing her hands. She was like,
She put her business all out there on front
she
street.
put her business, I
Like-
already put her business out there.
No, but like, that's like, okay, so we already know she don't wash her hands, but damn, you ain't have to go for her blood sugar levels like that either.
I was more concerned with the fact that you just
Yo.
sticking yourself with a needle and you not cleaning your hands first.
Hey,
So
I don't know what to say about that one.
I had a true bias. Obviously, we clearly had a bias against her. And I'm like, but she gonna go in there and touch them keyboards. The student's gonna ask for help. She gonna touch. She gonna touch.
Like, oh, this is a nice sweaty tip. It's like, oh.
And the kids are just so unsuspected. Just, oh, thank you for helping me.
It's like, yeah.
And I walk by the
Like,
class,
let
and
me
I'm
see
just
your
like,
phone. Can I see your phone? So what is this on here?
and I walked past her class, and I stopped, and I was like, and then ran to my room.
Raggedy bitch.
Just like, and slammed the door like she was coming after me. I was like, oh.
You raggedy. Oh, well.
Yes, yeah,
Wash your hands.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Please. And this was my office drama. This was my drama every day. I didn't really have a lot going on, but it
Yo. No.
was. And my other friend thought it was the most funniest thing in the world.
No.
I was like, it's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not. It's like, it's a sad reality. And then especially like, you're touching shit.
Yes.
And your hands are dirty.
And you probably,
Like-
now if you brought that up, you probably, I don't see what the problem is.
Right. I would have washed my hands right now after talking about this, but I'm gonna wait until we're
But
done.
this is who's in the classroom with your kids. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is.
I
And
actually,
of course you don't see what the problem is. I was like, it became a problem when you faked washing your hands next to me. Then I knew you were certifiable. That's crazy.
absolutely.
Hit the water twice.
You're not gonna get no objections from this side of the table on how egregious that was. Okay, like I'm not.
So like, I know y'all like.
I'm not.
It be some stuff going on in these schools, like, you know, corporate. It don't matter. You work with people. You got to deal with stuff.
Yeah, like when
You
you
have to deal
go
with
into the bathroom and you see that there's clearly like someone went to the restroom, we'll keep it light. They did a sprinkle and a tinkle.
And they didn't wipe.
They didn't wipe the toilet seat. Or it's just like random, like, it's just like pee here, but like, where's the tissue? Like, so you just like,
Yes.
first
There's
of
no
all-
toilet tissue in the toilet. So there's no way you possibly flushed it and only the toilet tissue went down and the pee stayed in the bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
That's what I'm
like-
saying. It's like, yo.
So unless you're just like not flushing the toilet tissue and you're throwing it in the trash, which I don't, that's disgusting.
That's
That's disgusting.
I was about to get myself all like, the trash is not in the same stall. Like, it's outside. So it's like, anyway. But
So
yeah,
that means you
so-
carried a wad of used toilet tissue and threw it in the trash. I don't know, but I know what she's talking about. I've seen just pee. So what is going on? I mean, and I know this happens.
We spiraled down a dark rabbit hole just now from where we started. But we thank
In the
you
end,
for-
we judged you. So
So we'll be back on Wednesday.
yes.
What day is that? The 7th?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday, our normal day, and we'll be having a guest come up soon.
Yes.
So we thank you
Thank
for
you so much for
joining
listening to
in
our
with
crazy.
us on our Saturday. We started off cool, then we went a little
Yeah.
crazy, but that's how we do it in the
But
teacher's
again,
lounge.
you're being judged, and the judges are teaching your children.
All right, guys.
Thank
Thank you. See you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.